Welcome back to KTN News Desk. Now, Kenya is to incorporate climate change into its education curriculum with the assistance of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. Kenya's ambassador to UNESCO, Professor George Godia, says Kenya has also been nominated to host an international training institute in water management, apart from benefiting from a 5-year contract to carry out the underwater study in Turkana. The envoy made the revelation in a one-on-one interview with our special correspondent Alex Chamwada at his office in Paris.
Natural sciences. Key milestone has been the water sector. And as you know, His Excellency, the third president, Honorable Mwai Kibaki, was nominated as Africa's special envoy for water. Recently, the function could not take place because of the disturbances that were happening in France. This is a big honor for the country. His Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta, did endorse this appointment, and UNESCO has had to postpone this to next year, and we are hoping to hold it in Addis Ababa during the heads of African Leaders Head Summit.
So exactly in water sector, how does Kenya benefit from UNESCO?
The UNESCO has a 5-year contract to carry out the underwater study in Turkana. We did discover water, and right now there is a training program that is going on in Mombasa for all of African countries on how to deal with the issues of underground water. One of the other things we have mentioned about Lake Turkana also has been the way we've been working with the Ministry of Environment to ensure that the development that is taking place in Ethiopia in terms of the Gibe Dam and the irrigation schemes and the electricity generation does not impact negatively on the lives of the people in Lake Turkana.
How does this climate change summit come in? We've talked about water and environment. What's the relationship?
For example, in the area of education, in the new Sustainable Development Goals, the issue of education for sustainable development, and therefore the issue of climate change becomes very critical in terms of integrating in the education policies, because one of the key things we are going to then be working with the national government is to ensure that we integrate the whole framework of climate change in the education policies, including curricula and so on. UNESCO has identified Kenya to be one of the areas where we have the Category 2 Institute for Water, and it's going to be based in Kenya. One will be training people in the area of water throughout the world. So it's good that we have such a center situated in Kenya. And even in the area of ICT, the whole issue of sensitization, ensuring that people are aware of the implications of these climate change issues.
And what's the difference between UNESCO office and Kenya's embassy here in Paris? What's the relationship?
The embassy really looks at the bilateral relationship between Kenya and France and maybe a few other countries. And therefore the ambassador there is a representative of the president as far as France is concerned. So we make that distinction very clear. And then here I represent the president in the 192 member states organization of the UN.